My dear students, in continuation of our mark scoring videos for upcoming intermediate public exams 2022, we are going to discuss important questions related to second year, that is senior intermediate. So this is the first video in this series. We are going to discuss chapter number 6 by name current electricity, in which there are three important essay type questions. So you will be getting definitely one question from these three questions. The first question is related to Wheatstone's bridge. Let me read out the question. State Kirchhoff's laws for an electrical network. Using these laws, deduce the condition for balance in a Wheatstone bridge. So what is a Wheatstone bridge? What are Kirchhoff's laws? Before I go into the details of this question, let me tell you what do you mean by current electricity. So previous chapter is related to static electricity, where we deal with the charges which are at rest. So let us say this is charge Q1, this is charge Q2. These are not moving, they are at rest. And you are studying the interaction between these two. So this is related to static electricity or electrostatics. If these charges are also moving, then you will enter into current electricity. So current means flow. So what does it mean? Charges are flowing. So charge can flow in general through a wire. Charge is flowing means number of electrons are flowing. What type of electrons? Free electrons are flowing. Now it is clear. If electrons are going through a wire or a metal conductor, then you say current is flowing. That is, electricity is flowing. So electric current I is defined as charge per unit time through the cross section of this wire or the conductor. Is this clear? Right. So when does current flow? When does the bunch of electrons move? So electrons move when there is a potential difference. So I have to maintain a potential difference between the two ends of the wire. That means for this purpose, I have to connect it to a battery or a cell. Then only electrons will flow. That means current is flowing. The amount of current flowing through this wire is directly proportional to the potential difference, or it is also called voltage. If the potential difference is more, the current will be more. It's a simple proportionality relationship. This relationship is stated by Ohm, Simon Ohm, that is called Ohm's law, in the form of Ohm's law. So let us discuss Ohm's law. These are all not related to this question, but I thought it will be better to give some knowledge related to this question. So Ohm's law, according to Ohm's law, let us say this is a wire through which current I is flowing. These are the two ends, and two ends are maintained at a potential difference of V. That is voltage. So according to Ohm's law, at constant temperature, so you have to keep the temperature constant, then only it works. At constant temperature, amount of current flowing through the wire is directly proportional to the potential difference. So this is Ohm's law. If I remove this proportionality relation, I have to put a constant. That constant is 1 over R. Here R is called, you might be knowing, electric resistance. Electric resistance. So Ohm's law is valid. Ohm's law is valid for simple circuits. That you have to remember. Simple circuit is something like this, having only one resistor R, through which some current I is going. So this is called the simple circuit. Ohm's law fails for networks. For networks means there are many mesh. You will see electrical mesh loops. So for complex circuits, let me put it in this way. For complex circuits, for complex electrical circuits, Ohm's law fails. In order to overcome this, Kirchhoff, a scientist by name Kirchhoff, proposed two laws. They are called Kirchhoff's laws. Right? So in our question, the question starts with Kirchhoff's laws. So if you write 2 laws, you will get 2 marks. If you derive the condition for the balancing of a Wheatstone bridge, you will get 8 marks. Very simple. 6 marks. So sums up to 8 marks. So this is the way of scoring 8 marks from this question. This is the easiest question in electricity when compared to potentiometer. Very, very simple. Let us discuss. Right. Now, let us discuss Ohm, that is the first law, that is Kirchhoff's law. Let us discuss Kirchhoff's law. Right. So, Kirchhoff's first law is also called KCL. What does it mean? Not potassium chloride. This is called, it is also called as Kirchhoff current law. So, first law is also called as Kirchhoff's current law. It is also called as junction rule. What do you mean by junction? You might be knowing railway junction. Junction is the point where many roads are meeting. That is called a road, called as a road junction. In the same way, railway junction. Right. So this is also called junction law. Why? What do you mean by junction? Junction is a point where many wires are meeting. So you know through wires current flows. Let us say through this current I1 is coming, through this current I2 is coming, through this current I3 is going, through this current I4 is coming, let us say through this current I5 is coming, through this current I6 is going. So according to Kirchhoff's first law, it is related to the junction. The sum of current, or let us say the amount of current entering the junction is equal to the amount of current leaving the junction. So what are the currents they are coming towards the junction? Let us say that is I1 is the first one, I2 is also coming towards the junction, I4 is also coming. The sum of currents coming towards the junction is equal to the sum of currents leaving the junction. So another one I5 is also coming. So this is the incoming current. The amount of incoming current is equal to the amount of outgoing current. What are the outgoing currents? One is I3, the other one is I6. If you write this, you will get 1 mark. If you want, you can write I1 plus I2 minus I3 plus I4 plus I5 minus I6 is equal to 0. The first law can also be stated as the algebraic sum of, in one word answer you can write in one sentence, algebraic sum of currents at a junction is always 0. That means sigma I is equal to 0. So it is nothing but the first law of Kirchhoff's first law is nothing but law of conservation of electric charge. What does it say? Charge neither it can be created nor it can be destroyed. The charge entering the junction is equal to charge leaving the junction. So this is first law. If you write this, you draw some diagram randomly indicating the directions of your wish, you will get 1 mark. Is this clear? So this is Kirchhoff's first law. Now, let us go to Kirchhoff's second law. Kirchhoff's second law is also called as Kirchhoff voltage law. So it can also be indicated by KVL. It is also called loop law. So in an electric mesh or network, we have to consider a closed loop. So second law is related to a closed loop, whereas first law is related to a junction. Junction is a point, right? What do you mean by a closed loop? In a circuit, I take a closed loop, right? There is a resistor R1 through which current I1 is going. There is a battery or a cell of EMF E1 and another resistor R2 through which current I2 is going. This is another resistor R3. There is another cell of EMF E2, and in this way I am taking a closed loop of an electric mesh. So there is a continuity of loops. I mean, one more loop is on this side, on the other side, on the four sides. But I am considering only this. Let us say current is going in this direction through this as I3. Here current I2, R2. Now, this is a loop. It's a closed loop, right? What does the KVL say? The Kirchhoff voltage law says that in a closed loop, just to write one sentence, in a closed loop, the sum of potential differences or voltages. What type of sum of? Algebraic sum of. What do you mean by algebraic? In ordinary sum, you have only plus, x1 plus x2 plus x3 plus x4 and so on. In algebraic sum, in addition to plus sign, you have negative sign also. For example, x1 minus x2 plus x3 minus x4, like that. So in a closed loop, the algebraic sum of potential differences or voltages or potential drops, whatever you say, is 0. This is the second law. So Kirchhoff's voltage law is nothing but law of conservation of energy. So energy remains same. You cannot create it or you cannot destroy it. Right. How to write the equation for this? So in a loop, let us say this is A, this is B, this is C, this is D. So I am starting at A and I am going like this and coming back to A. So for me, the closed loop is A, B, C, D, A. So the direction in which I am traveling is clockwise direction. You can choose clockwise or anti-clockwise, whatever you like, you can choose. So my traversing direction is clockwise direction. So you have to remember two things. If the traversing direction and current direction will decide the potential drop. So where do you have the potential drop? You have potential drop on the resistor. So in this, there are two things. One is the current eater. Current eater is resistor, which eats the current, and the battery is the current supplier. Your father is providing you facilities and you are utilizing those facilities. Suppose your father gave you 100 rupees and you are ready to spend the 100 rupees, or that means you already spent 100 rupees, the result is 0. 100 is plus, the other 100 is minus. The result is 0. That is called the algebraic sum, right? Now potential drop is always indicated by V is equal to IR from Ohm's law. So there are two types of potentials. One is the potential drop on the resistor. The other one is the potential potential difference between the electrodes of a cell, an electric cell. Is this clear? Right. If your traversing direction is this one, and if the current direction is this one, then that potential drop is negative. If your traversing direction is like this, and your the current direction is like this, this is the current direction, then the potential drop is positive. What does it mean? Right. Suppose I am going in this direction. The current is also going in this direction. So current always flows from high potential to low potential. So I am going from A to B means I am going from higher potential to lower potential. That means I am reaching a lesser voltage point. So I have to take that as negative. If the direction of the direction in which you are going and the direction of current are same, the first case, the potential difference or potential drop to be taken as negative. Right. In another case, let us say your current is going in this direction and you are coming in this direction. That means current is going from low potential to high potential. Current is going from high potential to low potential and you are coming from low potential to high potential. That means the potential drop is positive. That you have to remember. The directions of two are same, potential difference is negative. If the directions of these two are opposite, then the potential drop is positive. Potential drop on a resistor. So this is the second law. So you have to write only two statements. No need to draw even this diagram also. You will get 2 marks. Is this clear? Right. Now let us go to Wheatston's bridge. A scientist by name Charles Wheatston connected 4 resistors. A scientist by name Charles Wheatston connected 4 resistors to a battery via a galvanometer and key in this way, and this is named as Wheatston's bridge. Wheatston bridge is nothing but an electric circuit mainly consisting of 4 resistors and 1 cell or a battery. Right. Let me draw. So let us put A, B, C, D. 2 ends, namely A and C, are connected to a electric battery or a cell via a key, and the junction B and D are connected to a galvanometer. So this electric circuit consisting of 4 resistors. These 4 resistors let us name them as P, Q, R, S. Remember Z, capital Z. So this is P, write P, then Q, then R, then S. This is the way of writing. Otherwise, you will have confusion and you will end up with some wrong answer in the exam. Is this clear? Right. So is my diagram having clarity or not? Right. Now current I is flowing through the battery. So the same amount of I will reach the battery. So what is happening to the current here? So current is getting divided along the 2 branches. Let us say this current as I1 and this current as I2. So at junction B, I1, this is I1. So here another current is, let us suppose another current IG is going through the galvanometer. The remaining current is I3, let us imagine. Now here IG is incoming, I2 is incoming, let us say I4 is outgoing. Is this clear? Right. If you know this, then it is very easy to derive the balancing condition. Is this clear? Right. So for this purpose, Wheatstone bridge works based on Kirchhoff's laws. This is very, very important. Wheatstone bridge works based on Kirchhoff's laws. And meter bridge works based on meter bridge works based on Wheatstone's bridge. That is the next question that you will find in your textbook. Is this clear? Right. So Wheatstone bridge works based on Kirchhoff's laws. Meter bridge is nothing but the modified Wheatstone bridge. Right. Now let us take two junctions and let us apply first law, that is KCL. Now junction B. Junction B. So applying Kirchhoff current law. So what are the incoming currents? I1. And what are the outgoing currents? 2 I3 plus Ig. This is the equation number 1. Now apply junction law to the junction D. So I am applying it for junction D. Applying same Kirchhoff first law. So what are the incoming currents? I2 and Ig. What are the outgoing currents? Only one, that is I4. This is the equation number 2. So I used Kirchhoff's current law, applied it for two junctions, namely B and D. Now I choose two loops, closed loops. One is this loop and the other one is this loop. In both the loops, I am choosing my direction as clockwise direction. So G stands for galvanometer. It also stands for the resistance of the galvanometer. Every measuring meters have some coil of copper wire, and every coil has got some resistance. So that resistance, we are naming it as capital G. So there will be some potential drop even on the galvanometer also. Now let us go to the loop, closed loop A, B, D, A. A, B, D, A. In both the loops, there is no EMF because there is no electric cell. So only potential drops are there. So how many potential drops? You have one resistor here, another resistor within the galvanometer, another resistor. So you have three potential drops, right? Now I am choosing this direction. This is my the direction in which I am traveling. So I am going from A to B. So my direction and current direction are same. Then that potential must be negative. So I have to write I1P. From here to here, I am going in this direction. Directions of both the things is same. So this is also minus Ig, capital G. So going like this, in this branch B to D, then D to A. Here I am coming in the opposite direction of current. So I have to take plus I to R. This is equal to 0. This is my equation number 3. Is this clear? I am choosing the second loop. The second loop is B, C, D, B. So this is one potential drop, second potential drop, third potential drop. So directions are same. I have to take minus I3Q. Next one is directions are opposite. I have to take plus I4S. Directions are opposite, plus I2R is equal to, only this, no? So this is Ig, so this is Ig, capital G is equal to 0. This is the equation number 4. I am able to write 4 equations with the help of 2 laws, 2 loops and 2 junctions. Is this clear? So junctions for first law, loops for second law. Is this clear? Right. Now, what do we do in Wheatstone bridge? There is a condition where it is said to be balanced. When it is said to be balanced, if the current through the galvanometer is 0, then this bridge is said to be balanced. So, when you find galvanometer null deflection means 0 deflection. Generally, galvanometer detects the current. Suppose this is the galvanometer. You have a pointer shows 0, null deflection it is called. In one direction if current is going, let us say this is positive. In the other direction if the current is going, we say it as negative. If no current is flowing, then it has to show 0 deflection, that is null deflection. I am adjusting the values of P, Q, R, S such that Ig is 0. So, adjust the values of P, Q, R and S such that Ig is equal to 0. Then Wheatstone bridge is said to be balanced. Is this clear? Right. So, when Ig is equal to 0, this becomes I1 is equal to I3, this becomes I2 is equal to I4. So, even here this term becomes 0, this term becomes 0, right. Now, when does a galvanometer show 0 deflection? When there is no current flowing through this branch, this particular line. No current is flowing means both B and D are at the same potential. Remember, if you are at the same potential, the potential difference is 0, no current flows. That is, point A and point B are at the same potential. No current flows. That is the reason why a bird sitting on a wire, on an electric wire, doesn't get shocked. You might have observed this, right? So, suppose these are the two poles having some electric wire. So, a bird is perching on it. This wire of potential 220 volts. So, its two legs are at the 220 volts. So, no current flows. That is the reason why that bird doesn't get any electric shock. Is this clear? So, I am making the bridge such that both B and D are at the same potential. In that case, it is said to be balanced. This is just like you have a balance on both the sides. You have some weights. If the weights are equal, so this pointer will be at 0. They are having same weights. Here they are having same potentials. So, the pointer is showing 0. Pointer of the galvanometer is showing 0. Right. Now, let us try to write the values of 4 equations. Let us try to rewrite the 4 equations. The first one will become I1 is equal to I3, and the second equation will become I2 is equal to I4. And the third equation is minus I1P minus IgG plus I2R is equal to 0. When this term is 0, and if you bring this on the other side, you will get I1P is equal to I2R, right? So, I will write I1P is equal to I2R. This is my third equation. Now, what about fourth equation? In the fourth equation, this IgG becomes 0. And when you bring this on the other side, it becomes positive. So, I3Q is equal to I4S. I3Q is equal to I4S. These are the 4 modified equations. So, what I do? So, let us say I divide this equation by this. Let us say this is 3a equation and this is 4a equation. Let us name like that in order to avoid the confusion. What I am doing, 3a by 4a. Equation 3a is divided by 4a. So what I will get, I1p is equal to I2r. This is divided by I3q is equal to I4s. This is the ratio. But from these two equations, it is clear that I1 is equal to I3 and I2 is equal to I4. So I1 is equal to I3, it gets cancelled. I2 is equal to I4, it gets cancelled. You will end up with P by Q is equal to R by S. So this is the condition for the balancing of a Wheatstone bridge. So what does it mean? If the ratio of this resistor and this resistor, if it is equal to the ratio of these two resistors, then no current flows through the galvanometer. So this Wheatstone bridge circuit is very, very important in solving the problems related to entrance exams like EAMCET. For example, there is a circuit like this. Let us say this is 5, this is 10, this is 20, and this is 40, and this is 100, and you are supposed to write the resultant resistance between the points A and B. So this by this is 1 by 2, and this by this is also 1 by 2. Then you can neglect this. You can neglect this. Now what happens? This circuit will become a simple circuit like this. So this is 5, this is 10, this is 20, this is 40, this is A and this is B. These two resistors are in series. When they are in series, just add them, it will become 15. These two are in series, add them, it will become 60. Now the circuit will become two resistors connected in parallel. One is 15, the other one is 60. Now what is the resultant resistance? The answer for this is, you have to multiply and the answer will be 15 into 60 multiply divided by, add them, 75. So this is 15 5s and this is 12. The answer is, the resistance between A and B is 12 ohms. So in this way you can simplify problems of EAMCET. So this is not related to our essay type question. I hope this question is clear to you, the answer is clear to you. So drawing the diagram and writing the equations. Some people write directly by putting Ig0, but that is not good. We will be meeting in the other video with the other essay type question of the 6th chapter. Thank you.